The morning of May 17, 2005, began with panic in Alexandria, Kentucky. A chilling 911 call came from a quiet log cabin, a woman's frantic voice screaming that someone had broken in and shot her husband. When officers arrived, they were met with chaos. Drawers yanked open, glass scattered across the floor, and the back door smashed. In the bedroom, a man lay dead, his body slumped beside the bed. At first glance, it looked like a burglary gone horribly wrong. But within hours, investigators began noticing details that didn't fit, and one discovery hidden deep inside a washing machine would turn the entire case upside down. Bob Bosley, self-made success. Robert Bob Bosley came into the world on August 2, 1962, in the small community of Alexandria, Kentucky. Raised in a tight-knit religious family, Bob showed ambition early on. By the time most young men were still figuring out their future, Bob was already building his own business from scratch. He started small, chimney sweeping and minor roof repairs. Long days, fair prices, and an unbeatable work ethic earned him a reputation as the guy who got the job done right. Over the years, that one-man operation grew into Bosley Roofing and Chimney Sweep, a thriving company known for quality and reliability. But Bob didn't stop there. He bought rental properties, eventually owning around 20, and soon joined the ranks of the area's wealthiest businessmen. With his fortune came the toys, luxury cars, a private plane, a big boat, and a collection of expensive firearms. His boat on Lake Cumberland became infamous for wild, adults-only parties. Enter Amy. It was at a local restaurant that Bob met 18-year-old Amy Pave, a bright student from a modest background. Amy had grown up in a working-class home marked by her father's struggles with alcohol, yet she excelled academically and dreamed of a better life. Working her way through college as a waitress, Amy found herself drawn to Bob's charm and wealth. Soon, she was a regular at his lake parties. Their romance deepened, and after 4 years together, they married. The marriage marked a dramatic transformation for Amy, from waitress to wife of one of the most eligible bachelors in northern Kentucky. They welcomed their daughter Morgan in 1996 and son Trevor in 1999. Amy settled into motherhood, while Bob focused on expanding his empire. But he hated paperwork. So when Amy, with her background in business administration, agreed to manage the company's finances, it seemed like the perfect solution. A perfect life, on the surface by all appearances. The Bosleys had it all. They lived temporarily in a rustic cabin while building their dream home. A 14-acre estate complete with stained glass, a stone tower, and even gargoyles. Bob was admired for his generosity, often helping those in need. But behind closed doors, trouble was brewing. Amy, now controlling the books, began quietly siphoning company tax payments into a private account. For years, it went unnoticed, until the IRS started closing in. Unbeknownst to Bob, they had scheduled a meeting for the morning of May 17, 2005, the day he was found dead. The crime scene. When police arrived after Amy's 911 call, the scene felt off. Yes, the house was in disarray, but the mess seemed staged. Cabinets beneath the sink were open, prescription bottles scattered, and the shattered glass from the back door was mostly outside, not inside. In the bedroom, Bob had been shot multiple times, but only 2 shell casings were in the room. That odd detail led investigators to the basement, where the washing machine hid soaked clothes and a cloth containing 4 more shell casings. Why would a fleeing intruder take the time to hide evidence inside the victim's own home? Amy's story crumbles at the station. Amy described the intruder as a white man with a nasal voice, bad breath, and the smell of urine. She suggested Bob may have had enemies. even naming a contractor friend. But he was quickly cleared. Meanwhile, fear gripped the community. Schools closed for days as rumors spread. Back at the scene, detectives noticed valuables, even stacks of cash, untouched. Amy's emotional display felt hollow. And then, a major break came. IRS agents revealed that someone pretending to be Bob had answered their calls in a high-pitched, unnatural voice. They believed it was Amy. The motive now seemed clear. Her embezzlement, nearly $2 million, was about to be exposed. Bob's death would erase the problem and leave her with his fortune. The evidence mounts ballistics confirmed all 6 shots came from the same gun. 4 casings hidden in the washer, 2 in the bedroom. Bob's children told investigators they heard gunshots first. Then glass breaking, contradicting Amy's version of events. Her injuries, 2 symmetrical scratches on her chest, looked staged. Her blouse hadn't been ripped in a struggle. It had been cut with scissors. Soon, the murder weapon, one of Bob's own guns, was found hidden in Amy's belongings. The truth about that night, prosecutors pieced it together. The night before the IRS meeting, Amy waited until her children were asleep, then retrieved Bob's gun. She shot him as he slept. Bob tried to fight back, but she fired again. She smashed the back door with a baseball bat, ransacked cabinets, cut her own blouse, and called 911, all to make it look like a home invasion. Aftermath: less than 2 weeks later, Amy was arrested. To spare her children from testifying, prosecutors offered a deal: plead guilty to murder, accept 20 years in prison, and avoid trial. On November 2, 2006, Amy stood in court as Bob's family confronted her. His brother called her a liar. His sister asked if Bob had begged her to stop. She gave no answer. Amy served 17 years and walked free on May 17, 2022. Exactly 17 years after the murder. Her current whereabouts are unknown. As for Bob, he's buried in Campbell County, remembered as a man who built everything from nothing, only to lose it all to the person he trusted most. In the end, the IRS didn't just bring the taxman. It brought the truth and death.